All right, welcome to the Hudson Board of Trade. We got the November 1st straddle markets. So we have earnings this week. All these straddle markets are coming from Wall Street Week with Maria Bartiromo. If you want to watch there and get what the earnings that we're going to be looking at. But anyways, on Monday, we have Google, Beyond Meat, and Telephone. Google is supposed to be after market close, or Alphabet. Beyond Meat, after market close. Telephone is supposed to be before market open. The strikes I looked at were in Google, it's the 1265 straddle. It's currently trading $57. That means the break even on the downside would be 1218, and on the upside it would be 1322. So if you think Google could move more than $57, you'd want to buy it. If you think Google is going to move less than $57, you'd want to sell it for the week. Beyond Meat, after market close, the strike is right around the 101 strike for the straddle. The straddle is worth $15.50. So the break evens on the downside are going to be $85.50 and $116.50 on the upside. So if you think Beyond Meat can move more than $15.50 on earnings, you'd want to buy the straddle. If you think it can move less than $15 on earnings, you'd want to sell the straddle. Telephone, it's going to be before market open on Monday. The strike was $37. The straddle was worth $1.50, so the break even on the downside would be $35.50. The break even on the upside would be $38.50. If you think it can move more than $1.50, you'd want to buy the straddle. If you think that it's not going to move that much, you'd want to sell the straddle. Now on Tuesday, we've got GM before the market open. The strike is $37, and the 1 week straddle is worth $1.65. So the break even will be $35.35 on the downside and $38.65 on the upside. So if you think GM could move less than $1.65, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it could move more than $1.65, you'd want to buy the straddle. EA Sports is after market close. It's currently trading around 96.5 is the strike for the straddle, the 1 week straddle, and it's $6.75. So the break even on the downside would be $89.75. On the upside, it would be $103.75. So if you think EA Sports is going to move less than $6.75, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it can move more than $6.75, you'd want to buy the straddle. On Wednesday, we have Starbucks after market close, and we have GE before market open. So Starbucks, the strike on the straddle for 1 week is 83.5, and it's $3.60. So I take away $3.60 from 83.5, I get $79.90 on the downside. I add 360 to 83.5, I get 87.10 on the upside. So if you think Starbucks is gonna stay inside 79.90 and 87.10, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it could move more than that, you would want to buy the straddle. GE is currently trading $9. The straddle is worth 55 cents for 1 week. The break even is $8.45 on the downside and $9.55 on the upside. So if you think it's going to move less than 55 cents, sell it. If you think it's going to move more than 55 cents, buy it. US Steel is currently trading 12, so the strike on the straddle is 12. The straddle is worth $1. The break even on the downside is $11. The break even on the upside is $13. If you think it's going to stay within inside this range, 11 and 13, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it can move outside of this range, you would want to buy the straddle. Alibaba is before the market open on Friday. It's currently trading $175, so that's the straddles. That's what the strike is on the straddle. It's worth $8.50, so $166.50 on the downside and $183.50 on the upside. If you think it's going to stay inside that range, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it can move outside of this range, you'd want to buy the straddle. ExxonMobil is before market open on Friday. The strike on the straddle is $69. The straddle is worth $1.80. So the break evens on the straddle are $67.20 on the downside and $70.80 on the upside. If you think it can move outside of this range, you would want to buy the straddle. If you think it can stay inside of this range, you would want to sell the straddle. And finally, we have unemployment on Friday. So when we trade unemployment, we're looking at TLT, which is similar to a U.S. Treasury bond. It's striked at 138.5, and the straddles worth $2. So on the downside, the break even is 136.50, and on the upside, the break even is 140.50. So if you think the bonds are going to stay inside this range, 136.5 and 140.5, you'd want to sell the straddle. If you think it could break outside of this range, you would want to buy the straddle. Now, out of these, OTG is here today, and he wants to sell, and I'll let him sell 100. Telephone straddles. So we're gonna sell 100 OTG. OTG also wants to sell, he's gonna sell 100 GM straddles. OTG. He also wants to sell 500 GE straddles. OTG. He wants to sell 500 US steel straddles. OTG. And he wants to sell 50, I'll let him sell 50 Exxon straddles. OTG. So if you have any interest in trading any of these straddles for the week of November 1st, just leave a comment in the comment section if you want, just say you want to buy or you want to sell the straddle, and I'll determine the quantity that's appropriate. Thank you. And we'll also put up a review at the end of the week to say how these straddles did. Appreciate it.